guys, welcome back to the Hope Gardens and Creations channel. So today we are going to be making banana nut bread. Okay, I love banana nut bread, my kids love it. So we have some bananas that are, you know, a little bit overripe. I don't like eating bananas when they're overripe. I like when they're a little bit green. So whenever they start looking like this, then I'm like, okay, I have an excuse to make banana nut bread. So that's what we're going to do today. So first I'm going to show you what we got going on here, and then it's really easy, and then we'll get right into it, okay? So right here we have our mixer. If you don't have a mixer, that's okay. You don't need it. You're just going to have to put a little oomph into it, okay? So the mixer is where we're going to be mixing up our room temperature butter and our sugar, okay? And then I have 4 eggs here. I have some flour. I have 2 cups of flour. We have 4 bananas. And then I have some walnuts, because we're going to add some walnuts. But we're going to do something cool. We're going to do like a swirl in our banana nut bread. I like to mix some brown sugar with some cinnamon and our nuts, and do it half and half. So you'll see how we do that. We have our salt. I have 1 teaspoon of kosher salt and 2 teaspoons of baking soda, okay? Also have some vanilla extract. I just add a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon of that to the egg mixture. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do, because we just want to get this out of the way. Oh yeah, I have 2 pans. So this recipe is for 2 loaves of bread, because I have my neighbor, Cindy. She dropped this off to let me know she wanted a loaf of bread. So this recipe is for 2 loaves of bread, and it's easy, just cut it in half if you're only doing 1 loaf, okay? But trust me, you're going to want to do 2 loaves, even if you don't have someone to share with. And I'm going to let you know, this is a disclaimer. This is not a recipe for any healthy bread. This bread is not healthy, okay? It is the opposite of that. So if you got diabetes, or you're trying to be on a diet and cut out your sugar and your carbs, this is not the recipe. I'm letting you know, so don't come blaming me and say, oh my God, I ate a whole loaf of bread and I gained 3 to 5 pounds. That's not my fault. That's your fault, okay? Because I'm letting you know now, this bread is not healthy, but it's good. It's banging. All right? So now that we got that out of the way, we can bake this bread. So we're going to do the pans first, just so we can get that out of the way. I have a little bit of vegetable oil that I just like to put in a little bottle for like when I'm like spraying stuff on chicken, or in this case, just spray some in this pan. I'm going to do it in the other pan, okay? And then we're going to flour. Just kind of like flour that, so that way that's already coated for once we get our mixture. We don't have to do that. It'll already be done. Because, you know, usually you're like pouring the oil in and you're like swirling around. We don't got time for that. So I have some flour here. And this is not going to be perfect. I'm just going to pour a little bit in there. I did that one. And then we'll swerve that around. You'll see. Put a little bit in there. I don't know why it's coming out chunky like that. I'm trying to know I'm doing a video. Jesus, work with me here. And just kind of shake that around, okay? And y'all know that baking is messy. Yes. We get messy when we're baking. And I usually would do this over the sink, but since... Well, you know what? Let me tell y'all that way. Right there. Because I'm like, usually I would do this over the sink. But we might as well do that. And we just want our flour. And I would have did this before, but I figured some people like to see the process. Alright? It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want our pan to be coated. So you just kind of, you want it to get all around. That way your pan, because when that loaf is done, you want it to slip out easily. Alright? So we got our 2 coated pans. We're just going to put these to the side. me take y'all back over here. Let's come back over here, y'all. I'm sorry. Alright. So, the next step we're going to do, which is our flour, we have 2 cups of flour, okay? This is 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Let's put that in there. 1 teaspoon of butter. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Alright? We're just going to mix that around. Get that all mixed around. My daughter should be like, mixer, mixer, mixer. Mixer, mixer. She watches Danny Tiger all the time. And one of her favorite episodes, they're baking. And so they have a little song, the mixer, mixer, mixer. Alright, so we mix that around. Just put that to the side for a minute, okay? The next step is we have 4 eggs. And then we have our bananas. Let me get a fork. Come right back. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Alright, so I'm just going to mix these eggs up just a little bit. You don't need to overwork them, okay? Then we're going to put our bananas in, and then we're going to mix that. And listen, if you garden, which I hope you do because you're on my channel, so either you look at some of my gardening videos or you're here for the cooking videos, save those banana peels, okay? They're really good for potassium. We know bananas they're high in potassium. And your plants, some of your plants love them, okay? So what I do is, I save my banana peels. And if I can't use them right away, I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. I have some in the freezer right now. Where are those banana peels at? Banana peels, where are you? I don't know where they're at. These banana peels that I have frozen, okay? So what you do is, you can put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them when you get the chance. And if you put them in some water, okay? However many banana peels, there's no science to it. Put them in like a big jug of water and you let them sit for like 24 hours, 48 hours. And then you strain it and you feed those to your plants. And then the banana peels, throw them in your compost. Or if you don't want to use the banana tea, then you can just throw the banana peels in your compost. Alright? So what we're going to do is mix this up. You can blend it if you want. But we're just going to mix it. Alright. But yeah, you can definitely blend that as well. But, and usually the bananas would have been a little bit more ripe if you want them like extra sweet. Because sometimes you don't even really have to use the sugar if you don't want, because if your bananas are going to be really sweet. But I like chunks in mine. And plus, this is going to be blended a little bit more once I do all of it, okay? Let me wipe my hands. Alrighty. So, we have butter. So remember I told you that this recipe is for 2 loaves, okay? So, that is, I'm using 1 cup of butter. Alright, that's about 16 tablespoons of butter. I put it in the microwave for a little bit because you want room temperature butter and it hadn't been sitting out that long. So let's pour that in there. Alright. And then we have sugar. We need 2 cups of sugar, y'all. To get that measuring cup. Turn it over here. So that's 1 cup of like room temperature butter we have, and then we're doing 2 cups of sugar. Okay. And y'all see, I told y'all this is not one of those healthy recipes. I can do a healthy recipe at a later time, but that's not happening today. This ain't for the healthy, okay? Let's see how this, I haven't done this. And then we wanna, y'all bear with me. I use this one. I usually, you know what we're gonna do? There we go. You want that to be mixed up good. Alrighty. Lift that up. Alright, so y'all see that? That's why I didn't worry about blending, because I'm gonna put this in there. I'm gonna put, this is our wet. So this is our 4 eggs, 4 bananas, or if you want to, 2 cups of banana. Alright, this we're gonna add a little bit of our vanilla extract in here. I'm gonna say like 1 teaspoon. Okay. Okay, y'all. And I have some good chunks in there. Right there. And then we have our dry, okay? Alright, y'all. So we have our wet, alright? And then we have our dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly pour our wet into the dry. And then with this, I'm not going to use the mixer because I don't want to overbeat it, okay? And remember, this was our 2 cups of flour. Alright, 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. If you're baking, you want to use that kosher salt. Alright. Hey guys, I am back. So what I did, you guys didn't see that, I cleaned up. I cannot cook with a messy kitchen, okay? So after we blended everything up, mixed everything up, I had to wash the dishes to get our area clean. So the next step is, and if you don't like nuts, or if you're allergic to nuts, then omit this step, but I'm gonna add walnuts, okay? So I have some walnuts here. I'm gonna add some in here, and I'm just gonna kind of bang it up, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toast it a little bit. Toast it a little bit on the stove. Toast it a little bit on the stove. Yeah. Alright. So let's go over to the stove. Alright. Come on. There we go. And we don't want to toast it long. We don't want it burnt. We just want a little toasted. And what I'm doing, I have some more here that I'm going to be tapping while it's going up. Just breaking it up a little bit. Or make it easier for yourself, buy walnuts already chopped up. Just want to get that little flavor out of it, okay? And you can omit this step as well. You don't have to toast it, but I'm just toasting it a little bit. And it's not long. Let that toast just for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So right here I have 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. We're probably not going to use all of this, but that's what we're going to do. 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And what we're going to do is like a cinnamon swirl in our bread. So we're going to pour half of our mixture in, right? Add this cinnamon swirl, brown sugar, walnut combo on top. Then layer it with some more of the bread, and then top it off with this again. gonna be so good, y'all. Alright? Alright, let me go get our toasted walnuts. Alright, we got them. Let's see if they all fit in here. Should have got a bigger bowl, right? But we'll make it work. I think we're good. Blend it up as much as we can. Then we're going to get our 2 pans. We're going to get our 2 pans. Want that mixed up good, right? Alright, let me grab our 2 pans. Alright, here we go. Let's get this. We're going to do half. Let me hold that correctly. Can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all got a good view. Do half in this one. Yeah, it's messy. Alright. I'm just gonna grab my hands and do this. Sprinkle that on there. Bite into that bread. Oh, it's gonna have a good little flavor. And that's why I told y'all this is not the healthiest of breads. But it's so good, y'all. So good. Alright. Do the rest. Let me make sure I got enough on this one before I... Let's see, we got some flour down here. That's okay. Just enough. Spread that over as much as we can. There we go. And that's it, right? Got some on my hands. Alright, top it off with this, with our cinnamon, brown sugar, walnut mix. And if you don't like nuts, or if you're allergic to nuts, then you can still do the cinnamon sugar without the nuts. And so when this cinnamon sugar is toasted, it has a nice little crunch, okay? So good. My son has been coming down saying, I want some. So then we're gonna put this. I have the oven is heated at 350. At 350, and we're gonna put it in the oven for an hour, 60 minutes, okay? And so what we wanna do, we wanna clean off our edges, right? We don't want things messy going in. We're gonna put this directly in the oven. If you wanna put it on a larger baking pan, you can. Let me wipe my hands and then we'll go into the oven. Alright, are you guys ready to put our breads in the oven? And then here's our banana peels. So I put it in a fresh Ziploc bag and I'll just throw these in the freezer for when I want to do my banana fertilizer for the garden, okay? So just gotta take you guys to the edge of the counter so you can see me put these in the oven over there. Alright. So we have that at 350. I'm gonna put the timer on for 60 minutes. We'll check it, put a little fork in it. If everything looks good, we'll take it out, let it sit for like 10 minutes. So I'll bring you guys back in an hour when we check our bread, okay? Alright guys, so we are back. Our breads have been sitting in the, cooking in the oven for an hour at 350. So I'm going to show you them. So they have a dark rich color, and that's from the cinnamon brown sugar swirl. So they need to cool. So I'm going to put them on these metal racks so they're able to cool, okay? Let's see if it falls out. Nope, not going to make it easy for me, huh? So, let me get this to kind of go around the edges. And that's why we floured it with our... Alright. Oh. That one's kind of soft. And so we'll let that cool. Let's do this one. Make sure I get that underneath. There we go. Alright. That one was extra soft. Alright, so we'll let it cool down on this rack and then I'll cut it. I'm back. Alright, let me cut our bread. It has a crunch. You see that, guys? I gotta cut through that nice crunch that we got on the top from the cinnamon brown sugar walnut swirl we did. That's why it's so dark. I mean, it's still hot. I should let it cool, but my son wants a piece. You see that? Let me show you. You see? Yummy. And I already tasted a piece, and believe me, it is delicious, okay? Alright. There it is, our banana nut bread, and we did a cinnamon brown sugar walnut swirl on the top. I'll leave the recipe, the ingredients in the description, okay? If you try it, let me know. Come back in the comments and let me know if you liked it. Please give this video a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. That's my crazy daughter running in the background. And she hasn't even eaten this slice of bread full of sugar. So, it's going to be a long day. All right. We'll be seeing ya.